Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming to y'all again with another fresh and fire podcast episode, guys. The Melanated Traveler, and we in season 2, man. We in season 2. We moving. But before we get started, if you haven't had a chance to listen to the previous season, or if you're vibing with the podcast, be sure to support the Instagram at the Melanated Traveler. Also, if you also enjoying the podcast, be sure to write a review. That helps us out. That truly helps us out. That gives me the feedback that I need to provide y'all with the best content possible. We also call ourselves the New Green Book because as African Americans, as people in the diaspora, we're bringing this particular show is bringing on African American and Black content travel creators from all over the world, so we can share inspiring stories, so we can inspire the diaspora to travel all around the world. Right. So I got a special guest in the building. I got Preston Turner in the building, man, aka Mr. Travels, you know,
Yeah,
aka travel in my lifetime. And you also started a business as well, bro. You also
yeah,
started a business, right?
yes, sir. So I got my business, Travels in My Lifetime. Go get that merch. It's on the website. But yeah, I
Yep.
started this business back in February 14th, 2020. So right before the pandemic went just, crazy. But I started it. So I obviously I didn't get to much travel that year, but I hit the ground running back in 2021. And all this is, I can't go forward without saying that my wife is the one that literally got me to start it. So she actually helped me start it. She actually came up with the name. So I give her all the credit. So yeah,
Man, shout out to Black Love for a second, man. Shout out to Black
yeah,
Love.
yeah.
Let's shout out to that too. Black Travel, Black Love, shout out to that. And it's pretty interesting because you being originally from St. Louis and
Yep.
now you're currently in the DMV area. Um, married, you already brought up your lovely wife, married with five amazing children, you
Yep.
know, and and 14 years ago, Preston, he decided to travel, but whenever he started to live in Germany for about 3 years, correct, bro?
Yeah.
About
3
three
years.
years, 3 years he lived in Germany. He cranked up travel a notch. And
Oh
guys,
man.
I'm here to tell y'all right now. I'm here to tell y'all right now. We'll be sure to share his information throughout the show. But his content is absolutely amazing, and I'm looking forward to dive into this episode, man. So, anything else you want to share with the people, bro?
I just want to say I appreciate you opening up this type of platform for people like us of color, just so we can, say like you said, get this whole the new green book, so people can travel the right way. Just open up this positivity.
Definitely, man, definitely. And so let's start off. Let's start off with the why. With the why, brother. You brought up the wife and how she pushed you to get that travel business started. But just in travel in general, man. If you could take it back to those days in St. Louis, what drove you to say, you know what, this is something that not that I want to do, but I have to do. I have
Okay,
to do.
that's a
If you
good
want to share
question.
your story,
Oh yeah, so essentially, I grew up in a two-parent household for a little while. My mother being very very pro-black, she wanted myself and my older brother to just learn, read about our culture, things of that nature. So that just kind of stuck with me, and then I just really took a liking to this history. Just it don't matter what the history was, I was just reading about it, from U.S. history, European history, African history, and so it just kind of I just soaked it up like a sponge. And then I got into like mythology, whether it be Roman, Greek, Egyptian. Egyptians actually became my favorite type of mythology, but and that just kind of just built this passion, this fire in me. So when I got to high school, I saw that I had like a little, pretty much like a like just a love for history, right? So that grew into college. So then my major was history, and so that just fascinating. So up until that point, I've never been out the country, didn't live in too many different places. So my first time out the country was when I was in the army. I went to Iraq, and obviously that wasn't fun. So I didn't get to walk around
yeah.
and enjoy
Thank you
myself.
for your service,
That,
man. Thank you for your
yeah,
service.
no problem, no problem. So that I was like, oh, okay, well, let me see what else is out there. Then my first time out the country for fun, I lived in South Korea for a year, and I got to just explore the communities. I actually had an apartment in the community, so I got to mingle with my neighbors and stuff like that, and it just kept growing, kept growing. And then my last couple of years in the military, I re-enlisted for Germany, and I got to take my wife and my at the time I had 3 kids to Germany, and we just spent 3 years, 3 amazing years there. And those 3 years, I tell people all the time, I did not come home not once. I did not see America for 3 years, and any chance I got to travel, I was in Europe, just all over the place. And then after I got out the military, my wife allowed me to just continue to travel because she know how important that was to me. And so it started off with just being, hey, you get 2 trips a year. Okay, cool. But I got to poke and powder. And then next thing you know, she was just like, all right, you can do a little bit more. And then a little bit more. Next thing I know, I was like, check this out. I need to be rolling every other month. All right, we got to keep this going.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so she just allowed that. And that, like I said, in 2020, she was just like, you should just start a business because I've been to so many different places. The unfortunate part was because I was not a vlogger in Germany, I didn't take the greatest pictures because, like I said, it was just a hobby, click and go, right? And then because this is social media, everything's such a visual medium, you want the most, impressive pictures. So now I take my time to take these pictures, but I wish I would have had better pictures in Europe, but it is what it is. I'm here now, and I'm just doing my thing.
Man, definitely, man. What a story, man. What a story. Actually, my uncle actually went to Iraq as well. He did. I wanna give him flowers too. Since you brought that up, shout out to my uncle Stephen, man. Everything that you did for us, man, and everything that you did, Preston. Really do appreciate you again, brother. Appreciate
So I
it.
appreciate your uncle, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And he actually lived in Germany too, man. So let's spend a little time on Germany for a second. So
Okay.
so let me share just some of the common things you hear about Germany, and even during because you're a brother that's well diverse in knowledge. Even even during the earlier days, Germany has always been that conduit
Yep.
for us, for African Americans, for other individuals within the diaspora. It's always been, in my opinion, a safe space, for us to be. Um, the experience that my uncle shared with me was everything was totally 100% positive. He
Yep.
also said they know how to party. He also
Yep.
said that the structure in the general and how the people treat you is just world class. So just share some things on Germany, your time there. Maybe we can hit some key points that maybe some historical monuments, maybe some things that's off that beaten path that maybe people won't know. Since you was there for 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. So for Germany, like I said, I got there roughly in 2013 after I went to Afghanistan. And so it was just a blessing to get there just in Europe itself. Because I feel like most travelers, whether white, black, whatever, we want to go to Europe. I mean, that's kind of like a hot spot for us, whatever. So most people want to go to like Paris and stuff like that. But Germany is so underrated, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite countries in the world. And I'm not just saying it because I lived there for 3 years, but just the people. The people were wonderful. They was really nice to me. And I've been all the way through like north, south, east, west. Spent the night in small cities, big cities. Like you said, the partying, I partied all over. Didn't really have any issues with the Polizei, which is the police. Um, Food were amazing. The beer was, yeah, the beer was kind of, but a lot of people, always say the German beer is the best, and it's not for
Yeah.
me. But it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I guess it did the trick. You got all the festivals and just the safety. Like having kids there and my wife, that was the most important thing for me because once nobody really talked about the safety factor before I got there. And then once I got there with my family, I saw how safe it was. I didn't hear any gunshots, no wild, crazy police chases. And like I said, growing up in St. Louis, I'm used to certain things like barricades in the middle of the road and they try to divert traffic, like, just like permanent things like that. Didn't have any of that in Germany. And then you take it a step further, the homelessness. I may have seen 1 or 2 homeless people in those 3 years. And to me, that just warms my heart, especially being a veteran. I see a lot of homeless veterans out there. And so just to see how they just have that, just makes me, just just put a smile on my face, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, it just makes stuff simple. They play the big boy rules in the vehicles. So they have the Autobahn, which is just a highway, but it had unlimited speed, which sounds crazy to the outside world, but they're so regulated, and the people actually pay attention to the rules. Like, it's not an option for them. So they
Mm-hmm.
actually, if they say you can't pass to the right, nobody passes to the right, period. So that's a key thing. And so people are like, oh, I wish we could do that in America. We can't do that in America because everybody's doing their own thing, where they speeding, where they driving too slow. Like, even just for like another example, if you're driving too slow, you can get a ticket. Like, if you're in the left lane and you're holding up traffic, you have to get out that person's way. And all they have to do is just blink their lights and you have to get over. And if you don't, you automatically get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of rules that they play by, you know. And like I said, everybody follows them. If you get a speeding ticket, I had a few speeding tickets, like in the little villages and stuff like that. They're not trying to bust you across your head. You might pay 10, 15 euros. So you're not even going to fight 10 or 15 euros. You're just going to be like, oh, I just paid that. I messed up. I pay it. And I think the reason why people take that so serious is because, from what I heard, it might cost 2,000 euros to get your license. So you would kind of respect that. You know, if you pay a couple $1,000s for your license,
Facts.
you're not just giving that or whatever. So I think they just, play by big boy rules. And then, like, when it comes to like drinking, they start drinking early, like 16. So by the time they're 18, 20, whatever, they don't look at it as, I gotta, be secretive. They're more open, when it comes to like nudity. It's not a big deal. It's a human body. But, in America, we're a little bit more prudish. So it's like, if you see a nipple, you see this, you see that, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So they just grow up faster. And so I
Mm-hmm.
can really appreciate that just by being an adult. At the time, I just had my 3 daughters. It was a little shock value to them because we went to certain beaches or little indoor pool houses, and they see like naked little boys, naked little girls running around, but it's nothing to them because that's just their
Yeah,
society.
that's common. Yep.
Yeah, it's common. So they don't look at the human body as like shame. So I think that's, like I said, that's pretty cool. And then, like I said, being in Germany, it's not that big of a country, but it has so many important cities, like, your Berlins, your Dresdens, your Nurembergs, Frankfurt, Cologne, Munich. Like, these are just beautiful old, cities that they actually take care of. They take pride in. You don't see a lot of trash all over the ground. People like, and that's the one thing like I love about it. They take pride in their city or their country. So I think those key little points that really touched home with me so much that my wife like I was trying to get a job out there once I got out the military. I was like, I'm trying to get a job, and I'm still trying to go back. Hopefully, well, she just turned 15 last month, but she's a freshman in college. I'm sorry, college, a freshman in high school. So when she graduates, I'm gonna be looking to move back to Germany or something for at least a couple of years, hopefully.
Man, I look, I feel you on that. I got one son, man, and he's 3 years old. I'm already counting
Okay.
down because my country for me that I plan to, I wouldn't even call it retire, but just live a life. It's
Mm-hmm.
Colombia for me. Colombia for me, Germany for you. Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely the place I want to say reside in permanently eventually.
Colombia is dope. I went to Colombia a few years ago, right before the pandemic, maybe 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Spent like a week there or whatever. I went to Cartagena and Medellin, and I like both them cities. Like Colombia is probably, I would say, my favorite Hispanic country. It
Mm-hmm.
was definitely my favorite Hispanic country out of all the Hispanic countries that I've been to. It's definitely number one. Just the vibe was, just it was just there. Whether it was the beach life and doing the coastal area or that city life when I went to Medellin. So I want to go back because I want to go to Cali, I want to go to Bogota and a couple other cities. So yeah.
Man, Cali was a vibe. Actually, I was there 3 weeks ago, bro. I was in Cali
Whew.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, I
three
never
weeks
been, so
ago,
yeah, we got to talk offline. I got
man.
got to
Look,
know the
look,
stories and where to go.
look. All I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. If you're the type of person, the touristic cities are fine. Cartagena, Medellin, both of them are vibe. I'm not down in any of those cities, but what I like about Cali the most is that's the salsa capital of the world. A lot of people
Yep.
don't know that. That's number one salsa capital of the world. So for me, it did not cater to tourists, and that's what I liked about the city. You know, I do speak intermediate Spanish. Shout out to my Spanish teacher, Paola. You know, I do speak intermediate, so I was forced to speak the language. Ain't no, you know, yeah, I could use a translator, but I honestly, bro, I really didn't need it. Now I may
Okay.
mess up on my sentence structure from time to time, but I
Yeah.
felt that was my test, was to go to college and truly test my Spanish. And bro, Cali is awesome. It's one more place I want to bring up just briefly. That you and other people should think about, and I do plan to get there eventually. But it's an area in Colombia called Quibdó and Choco.
Okay.
That's where all our people are. That's where all
Oh,
of them
okay.
are. And the Colombian government, to be honest with you, the area in that part of the country, they kind of forgot about it. So everybody looks out for one another, right? Also, you know, Buenaventura. Buenaventura is actually on the you know, the southwest side of the country. You know, it's right there by the port of a huge port. It is. Even my Colombian friends would tell me is dangerous. But if you ever notice that most of the places that they say is dangerous around the world is us. You ever pay
Yeah.
attention to that? Look, I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Every place that don't go is dangerous. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you go down there. You go down there with somebody that you know what I'm saying, know how to move. But I just had a homeboy that just came from Buenaventura. He lives in Cali right now, and he was like, man, the love that was shown, because you don't have to blend in down there, brother. Just show up. Until
Really?
you start speaking English, they're gonna be like, oh, all right, I didn't know you was. I didn't know. I thought
Really?
you was from here, because it's us. It's us.
Okay.
It's us. So Choco, Quibdó has a highly African population. I mean, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Cali has a highly populated. You know, the diaspora. We're there, but where we really at is Choco, Quibdó, Choco. That's the city. Quibdó, you know that area, and then
Okay.
Buenaventura. So I just had to share that just for a second.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
I
for a second.
appreciate that because I know when
Yeah.
I was there, I went to Palenque, which is
Yep.
just north
Yep.
of. Yeah. So I had a great
Yeah.
time there, eating at the local houses and stuff like that, and just mingling with them. I mean, they didn't really. I don't speak that much Spanish. It's very, very little. But I was able to communicate just a little bit. And then we had my translator, but we had just a great time. Even that language barrier did not stop us from just having a great time and just enjoying
Yeah.
each other's company. So,
Yep. And for those that don't know, and we shared it a few times, but for the ones that haven't caught up to season one, all right, let's give y'all a little refresher. So Palenque is actually the first free town in the Americas for our people, for African Americans and descents of Africans, right?
yep.
They don't necessarily know where the founder of the town came from. He originated from, you know, either Angola or, you know, Sierra Leone, that coastal region of Africa.
Mhm.
But he was a person that established that town, and it was a safe space for us to go. I highly recommend y'all. I highly recommend that y'all check out Palenque. I'll actually leave some links in the show notes as well for y'all to reach out to some of my friends that have tour companies there as well, so we can keep that dollar circulating and keep it flowing. But
Okay.
that's definitely a trip that you need to make. Definitely,
Yeah, I did
definitely.
love Palenque. Like I said, it was fun. I got two bad knees now, but when I went to Palenque and they did their traditional dances, they was just like, "Oh, come dance with us" type stuff. So I was out there trying to dance and just it was just, like I said, it was just a good vibe. The kids there were very welcoming. Just the whole community actually, they were just super friendly. They just wanted to talk. They didn't want nothing from you. Just
Yep.
that communication, and they wanted to practice English with me. But I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. We everywhere, man. I'm about to shift gears a little bit. So let's destroy some of these uh I'm gonna get you to destroy some of these travel myths. So when I make a statement, I'm gonna make a statement based on the opposite the opposite of what people think, and you're gonna give us the real. So
Okay.
we'll start off with the first one. The first one that's obvious that everybody that doesn't expand, whether they be domestically or internationally, that don't travel, the first thing that they say, this myth is travel is expensive. So
Absolutely.
when you hear that, let's break that myth down, bro.
So, all right. So for me, I tell everybody this, people I work with, friends, family, whatever, traveling is expensive as you make it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, yes, you can go on this $1 million cruise. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's expensive, right? But you also go on that same type of cruise, get the same, like the same response. Like you can be like, hey, we can see the same cities, we can eat the same type of food, but you can cut the cost by half or a third or whatever. So one thing I like to do is I like to plan my trips out months in advance. Based upon me planning trips either months or even a year in advance, that allows me to save. So I'm a saver. Like I said, I got 5 kids and I live in the DMV area. And this is one of the most high cost living areas in America, right? So obviously I'm not rich. I'm out, like I said, I have a day-to-day job. I was at work today. So how I do it is I just save my money. I kind of get like a rough estimate. All right, so if I want to go to, let's say, Germany. All right, so let me see what month I want to go, how much it's going to cost if I leave on a Tuesday, if I leave on a Thursday, if I, do these type of things and see how can I, get more bang for my buck. Also, how I do it is I will say, let's say I want to go to Germany, but since I'm already in Germany, let me see how can I cut costs because I do want to see Spain. So I might say, well, it's cheaper for me to fly from Germany to Spain or vice versa, just so I can hit both all in one trip versus coming across that water multiple times. So that'll cut your costs. Then they got airlines like TAP or Iceland Air, where they got free layovers up to like, I think 72 hours or maybe 10 days or something like that, where you could be like, all right, well, I take TAP Air, which is Portugal, and say, well, I go to Portugal, but I can do a layover in a whole nother country. So now I get two countries for the price of one ticket. So it's just little things like that that you should look into. You got the Groupons. I've never done them myself, but I've heard wonderful stories about them. But they are specific to, you got to read the fine print on those or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You got the travel agents where you can actually book a trip, and I'm talking about the good travel agents too. So I'm talking about the good ones because I met some bad ones that was their markup was just outrageous that I've seen personally.
They were trying to pay their mortgage.
And I'm like, what we doing? So, because I'm a travel agent as well. That's part of my travel business. And I'm like, and I'm just looking at like, I'm not trying to bust nobody across their head. Like, I want people to travel. I want people to have a good feeling because one, that's how you do business, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. That's how you get returning customers. That's how you get referrals. And, I try to base my business off of, word of mouth. To me, word of mouth means everything. So yeah, so those are just some of the things that you can do to cut your costs.
Definitely, and a lot of people overlook a very easy task with one of the biggest search engines in the world, Google. Google Flight, y'all can simply get on Google Flight. So I'll tell
Yep.
you. So let's back up. I'll tell you how I save some money. Me personally, I do one way flights, man. I do one way flights.
I do too. Yeah.
Like when I went, you know what I'm saying. Normally I do one way flights. Now let me bring this up for anybody that listened to this episode and say, "Oh well, Aspen only do one way flights." Why, when I get to that country, they're making me buy a return ticket? Well, every country is different, y'all, and that's when it all boils down into doing
Yep.
your research. Because I'm here to show you right now, we're gonna shift gears into this after I break down some more myths. But I've seen we shared also another country. It's multiple countries that we shared, but one that we shared together, that we both been to was El Salvador. El
Yep.
Salvador is one of those countries. You show up to El Salvador and you go to customs. They gonna want to see that return ticket. If you do
Yep.
not have that return ticket, they will make you buy it right then, right there, or you cannot enter the
Mm.
country. So that's
Yep.
just a little feedback. So back to Google Flights, y'all. You get on Google Flights. First of all, let's say if you don't know where to go. What I prefer to do now, lately, I combine Google Flights with Google Earth. I simply
Okay.
go on Google Earth, and Google Earth gives you the most realistic view of wherever you're going. So I go to Google Earth, I spin the globe, I kind of figure out, if I don't know where I'm going, I'll just zoom down into certain areas and see,
Mm-hmm.
the vibe and what I think about it. You can drop your body down into the street, see the
Yep.
environment, see what's going on. But once I find out where I'm going, I go to Google Flights one way. You go to Explore, and then that Explore page will take you to that. You can switch it. You can do round trip if you want. I do one way, and then I'll go to whatever my departure airport is and my destination airport that I'm arriving to. I put that in. Then you click on the calendar. The calendar is gonna populate all these different costs, right? All these different costs. You can go from now. It's October right now. You can go all the way up to May now.
Yeah.
May now on Google Flights. You can go all the way up to May, and it'll give you everything that you need. It'll give you the prices. You click on that particular date, and it'll break down what airline it is. It'll tell you if it's a typical price, if it's under
Yeah.
this particular price. Also, another tip that a lot of people don't bring up, and it's very simple. Continue to use Google Flights. Google Flights actually has a way for you to, let's say if you find a price cheaper somewhere else, they will match that price. It's kind of like they set it up like Walmart now. And also you can set up alerts. Set up alerts on, on your prices, on your destination and the price, and it'll tell you when it's going up, when it's going down. So you don't have to think about it. Right?
Mm-hmm. That is
So
one thing, and then also with Google Flights, I know if you just type in your starting city and just hit like enter, they can give you that 6 weeks out, 3 months out, and they'll just
yep,
give
there
you
you go.
different
Yep.
locations with all the different prices. Like if you leave from this particular city and you want to go to Mexico, you want to go to whatever, it'll give you those prices. So that way you can actually pick your destinations based upon your budget. So like I said, you can still go places, may not be 100% where you want to go based upon that price, but you're going somewhere though. So I think that's very
Definitely.
important.
Definitely. They got sites out there. It used to be called Scott's Chief Flight, but it's not
Yep.
called that anymore. It's called Goings. It's called Goings now. That's what it's called. And
Mm-hmm.
also Skyscan is a good one too. If
Yeah, I used
if
to use that
y'all are the
too. Yeah.
type, yeah. Skyscan is good. And if y'all are the type, me personally, I don't never rent a car when I'm in the country. I just Uber everywhere. But for
Me
y'all
neither.
that want to combine hotels and combine vehicles, Expedia and Kayak and TripAdvisor, all these are good places for you to test out.
Oh
So
yeah, if you bundle, yeah, bundle will save you a bunch of money. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Second myth that everybody brings up is to uh if you do travel, stay within your comfort zone. You should stay in what you know, meaning that a lot of people, they still have that American mindset where they, all right, for one, it's a language barrier that
yeah.
that's within itself, but two, they would rather, and that's not a knock when I say this, y'all, don't get offended. There's not a knock that people look for that M wherever they go, or they look for Burger King, they look for Pizza Hut, right? That's the norm. So
Yep.
they're told to stay within that comfort zone. So what's your response to that, for people to just break that myth? Like, you shouldn't just be in that one lane.
Oh man, you should bust out that bubble, man, straight up. And I used to be one of those type of people when I first started traveling many years ago. McDonald's, that was my go-to because I know what Mickey D's is going to give me. I know round about the price. I know this quarter pounder, this double cheeseburger is going to hit right. But then, like, as I got older into my late 20s, my 30s, my 40s, whatever, I'm like, hell no. I'm like, yo, you should get out your comfort zone because you really will be missing out on a lot of things culturally. And it gives you a chance to actually support the locals. So
Mm-hmm.
I only eat at mom and pop shops. That's the only places I would go. You go to my page, my YouTube channel, or whatever, you're only going to see mom and pop shops, local shops, one-off shops, because I feel like the big dogs, the McDonald's, whatever, the Fogo de Chow's or whatever, they already have enough money. They already have enough exposure. Everybody already knows them. But let me
Mm-hmm.
give, Maria the butcher, some free advertisement. It doesn't cost nothing, and that just makes me feel good that I'm giving somebody a chance, to show their stuff. Something that they work hard with. Because especially I know during the pandemic it was really hard for a lot of these local businesses. So I try to use local tourism. I don't like those mystery tour people that are owned by a company in Great Britain or something. I want to use boots on ground, something that's locally developed, and as they own their own company, they work for themselves. To me, that's real cool. I have a guy named Eddie. I met him. He was my tour guide in Ecuador. I still talk to Eddie to this day, and that was like 2 years ago. And I'm always promoting him because he's like a excuse me, he's a team of me. So it's like it's only him. He's doing all these wonderful tours, going to the Galapagos, going all through Ecuador. He even leaves Ecuador and he goes to different countries like Chile or Argentina, places like that, and Peru. He'll go to Peru and he'll hike with you, he'll do whatever, and that's how he supports his family. So to me, it's very, very necessary. Now he doesn't have a commission. It's you either use it or you don't. So
Right.
so I definitely think it is okay to get out your comfort zone, but the caveat is that be safe. Like, I don't go down dark alleys. I don't, I'm not trying to save that much of a buck or help people out to the point where I put myself in a compromising position.
Right.
So, because if something looks skeptical, definitely use your brain and be like, all right, that food been sitting out for way too long. That's not even like refrigerated. So if they're not doing best practices, then yeah, by all means, find somewhere else. But I definitely say try to eat local, support local, stuff like that. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the last myth that I want to share, and then I want to take some time to talk more about your business. The last myth is that people will say that people will say from a culture perspective they should know us and we should know them, meaning that, hey, I'm American. No, 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 no. You in their country.
yeah.
You need to learn their customs and their cultures, which you already led to at the beginning of this episode. But can you dive deeper into that, bro?
Yeah, so one of the things that I learned by going to like Iraq and Afghanistan is that they have certain, um, just cultural things that about them, whether it's their religion, or just like I say, like their culture in general. Like don't wave with your left hand, or you don't eat with your right hand. Stuff like that. You never show your feet to the bottom of a person. I think that's very important to do your homework on any place you go. I don't care if it's a different state. You just
Mm-hmm.
never know what people's little, quirks are and stuff like that. So I think it's important just to show tolerance. Try to be very tolerant with another person's cultural religion. Like my wife and I, we went to Egypt, and I ain't never seen this woman do so much homework in her life. She was just like, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then she was fine with it. It wasn't like it was a problem, but
Mm-hmm.
she made sure when we went to the mosque, she was covered up. She had the hair. It was just, she was trying to be the most perfect tourist that she could be, within obviously within reason, but she was just trying to be the perfect, like I said, tourist. Um, one thing in Afghanistan that was a real big deal, and also Iraq, but more so in Afghanistan, what I found, they like to offer you gifts, and it's like a sign of disrespect if you turn it down and things of that nature. So
Mm.
you just have to be mindful of that type of stuff. Um, how you talk to people, like your mannerisms, talking with your hands and yelling. I know we just seen that one woman who just got arrested in Dubai.
Yeah.
A couple months. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
be careful where you at. Everybody doesn't
Yeah.
care that you're American. And the last thing I would say on it is the one thing that's one of my pet peeves is I hate is when you get to like an American get to another country and they speak a dumber version of English. So they try to get you to understand. It's like you don't have to speak slow. If I don't understand English, it's like if I don't understand German, I don't care how fast or how slow you speak it. I don't understand. We need to work another way to, communicate. But don't talk to people like they're stupid. Like no, they just don't understand the language.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't try to use a lot of jargon, like a lot of slang, because they obviously are not familiar with American slang. Shit, even in America, I'm not familiar with all the slang in America,
Man,
and I'm
yeah,
American.
cause down here in South Louisiana, you heard me how we talk. You heard me.
Yes,
That's a different
yeah.
vibe. You heard me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the bus. Me and my wife was on the bus to go to. I forgot where we was going. Oh, we was going to see the Whitney Plantation, and the bus driver, he
I'm
was just
from that
like,
area, bro. I grew up there. I grew up in that
"Oh,
area.
really?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I
That's
love
where
it."
that's the area I'm from. So, and we're gonna die.
Okay,
We can shift to that after your statement, bro. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
okay, yeah. So we get on the bus, and he was just like, "Hey, you guys, he's on, y'all Preston and Levy, like my wife's name is Levy, and I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, baby. He said, go ahead and blah blah blah, and I was just sort of like, what is he talking about? It was just, so I just thought that was funny because
And we say baby to everybody, but if you're not from here, you'll think we flirting with
yeah, I
you
was
know
sitting
what I'm
there
saying?
like, who is he talking to? Because I know he
Yeah,
ain't talking to my. But and they say it was just funny. But yeah, like I said, people dialects are just different, so it's very
yeah,
important to
definitely, definitely.
do that.
Man, I'm from that area, man. So anytime you see the Butler, like all these different Skeleton Key, all these
Yep.
different movies, I grew up in that area, bro. And one thing I gotta highlight, shout out to Gramercy, man, trying to put Gramercy on the map. What we're known for is the Bonfire Festival. So it's actually coming
Mhm.
up this Christmas, and we pretty much the old fable is every family builds a bonfire, or rather it be a company build a bonfire on a levee. That's our hill, right? Because we below sea level in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So that levee, if for y'all that don't know, a levee is what stops the river from flooding us, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we build these bonfires, triangular bonfires, massive, and sometimes not even triangular. We'll build like frogs. We'll build like got some people that make different designs. But anyway, long story short, it stretches. It stretches for about 40 miles down the river. And Christmas Eve, every Christmas Eve, we light the bonfire. That's our way of signaling Noel to come to the house for the kids, to give them presents. That's our folk tale. So we do that every year, brother. I don't know if it's last minute, but look, that's my one little pub of my area, man. If you ever get a chance, maybe next year. But man, I'm telling you, man, it's something you should definitely bring the family to, man. It's
So
awesome.
I'm glad you said that because my wife and I mean, when we went in July, it was 3,000 degrees. I was like, I see what Juvenile's talking about, this 400 degrees, but I'll definitely say, okay, I don't want to disrespect anybody. We felt like New Orleans was a little bit more overrated in our opinion, but we loved when we got outside the city. When we got
Mm-hmm.
outside the city and we start going towards, like, say, like all the plantations, all the history, the rich history, the food was amazing, the people were amazing. We did like swamp tours and the real swamp tours apparently, because there was like, I guess one swamp tour they kind of just go into like a lake, but we was actually in like the
Yeah,
little bayou parts and
yeah,
navigating a little. So it was really cool. Like I said, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like New Orleans was cool, and maybe it was just the heat. To be honest with you, I was just like the heat was on my back, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm a big dude. I'm like over 250 pounds. I like when it's 80 degrees, I'd be like, oh man, and every day was 100. But but I definitely think I definitely want to come back because there's other cities I want to go to in Louisiana. Like I want to go to Baton Rouge and Shreveport. These cities that I've heard. Now I don't know how much stuff is there to do, but I just want to go just to say I've been and just see how the people live.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got some spots, man. They got some spots, and the area that you're talking about, for those that don't know, that's we call that the tri parishes. So outside of New Orleans, headed towards Baton Rouge, that's the area that I grew up in. In my opinion, a lot of people from New Orleans gonna get mad when I say this, but it's facts. Y'all can't cook better than us. We cook better gumbo. We cook better etouffee. We cook better. You know what I'm
One, two,
saying?
three. That
Whatever
stuff
you
is
bring,
good.
whatever you bring to me and my family, we can whip it up and make it taste good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. But shout out to the city, man. Shout out to New Orleans. We got a lot of rich culture in Louisiana. Period. A lot of
Yeah.
artists that you already brought up: Juvie, Wayne, Boosie.
Yep.
All these different cultures, man. But just shout out to Louisiana for a second. And man, let's talk about. So you've been to some place. This is actually the first country new on this podcast, man. But man, let's dive into Romania, man. So you've been to Romania. You had a chance. I looked at the content, and man, it just seemed like absolutely like just in a whole different world. Like, what made you even decide to go to Romania? Because You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna say, hey, let's go to Romania. Like, like what made you decide to do that? And I know I don't want to kind of dive into it early. I want you to talk, but I got a good reason why you would think
Okay.
about going there. You know what I'm saying? Well, my thought process. So
Okay.
let's dive into Romania, man.
All right. So Romania, right? So last year I wanted to do a big culmination trip for the end of 2022. So I knew I was going to spend about 2.5 weeks in Europe. I just had to pick my countries. So, like I said, I've been 3 years in Germany. So I've been to a lot of places. Obviously, not everywhere, but I've been to a lot of places in Europe. So, but I wanted to. It was certain countries that I just have to hit. So in that 2 week span, I did your method. I did one way tickets. So I bought a one way ticket to Scotland. Everybody, all black people was like, "The hell you going to Scotland for?" And I've always been a guy. Shit, why not? So I went to Scotland for, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever. Then I took my butt to Norway because a lot of black people don't go to Norway. I was like, hey, let's hang out in Norway for a while. And then after that, I went to Sweden. And when I got to Sweden, I hung out there for about 4 or 5 days. And then I was just like, I've always wanted to go to Dracula Castle. I heard cool things about it. So that was like my number one thing to do was Dracula Castle. So ended up, like I said, flying into Bucharest, the capital of Romania, and I had a ball. I mean, it's different because a lot of people try to stay Western Europe, so Eastern Europe has a whole different vibe, just totally different. So you definitely got to be prepared for that. But Romania was nice. The people was nice. Like I didn't get into any trouble. I did have a small hiccup with my hotel accommodations. They try to play your boy to the left. The first hotel, they wouldn't let me in. They said they canceled my reservation, and then it was a whole ordeal. But outside of that, had a beautiful time. And actually, they canceled my hotel reservation, and they helped me book another hotel that was better than the one that they had me in. So I was like, oh, well, thank you for that. It was a little bit further out the way. It wasn't in walking distance. Because like I said, I don't rent cars, and I Uber everywhere. So I tried to pick locations based upon the walking aspect of it. Like, okay, it's just a walkable city. So that's why I picked that particular first hotel. But Romania was very cheap. And like I said, spending 2.5 weeks out the country out of a suitcase, I had to pick like countries that wasn't too expensive, even though the first 3 countries was breaking my pockets between the pounds and I forgot what else. I forgot the other currencies, whatever they use. But when I got to Romania, boy, I felt like Jay-Z. I was like, man, I'll buy this whole place, But the food was amazing. I got to go to, like I said, because Dracula's castle is in Transylvania, that area. And I just thought it'd be some fly stuff to say, like, hey, your boy went to Transylvania.
You're the only person I know that been there.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty dope. I still keep in touch with some of the people that I met there on Instagram, and it was just a whole vibe. Like I would definitely go back. It's one particular thing I have written down that I want to do, but I definitely highly recommend. And that's what I mean by getting out your comfort zone. Go to places that are just not seen from us. Other people go all the time, but it's like when I was on my little tours, I was the only black person. To be honest with you, I think every tour I went on for those 2.5 weeks, I may have been the only black person. Like it wasn't a lot. And then even the people that was commenting on my videos or on my pictures and stuff, they was like, why? I'm like, you are literally bringing up my point. I'm showing you something different. Like, get out your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Like,
You're not
how
going
many
to
times
DR. You're not going to all these popular places, Brazil, and
yeah.
all these
I'm
places.
like, and I'm not saying don't go, but I'm like, how many times you gonna go to Dubai? That was like one of the jokes Alicia, all of us was saying, like, you ain't gonna like Miami me to death. You ain't gonna just Tulum me. Like, I ain't going there like 17 times. I'm not saying you can't go to
Playa
those
del
like
Carmen and
yeah, I'm like, bro, like that's cool. It has its place for travel. But you got El Salvador. You got Guatemala. You got your Panamas. You
Talk your
got
shit, bro. Talk your shit,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? Like you got all these places. Like people was killing me about Ecuador. Why the hell you gonna go to Ecuador? I went to and I don't want to get off topic. I apologize.
No, bro. You good? Because I'm leading into that. You good?
Okay.
Roll with it, bro.
But like I took my wife to Bolivia this year. You know how shit they treated me worse. As far as like the comments, like Bolivia, then like the Romania. At least the Romania, they could be like kind of envision that, but Bolivia, half the people didn't even know the hell Bolivia was at. And I said,
Yeah, they had no
"You're
way it
welcome."
was.
I was like,
Yep,
"You're welcome." I just gave
yep,
you a history, free history lesson.
yep.
You didn't even know where Bolivia was at, and we had an
Shout
amazing
out to Simone. Shout out to Simone Bolivar, man. I dive deep into his story, man. Definitely impressed, and with everything that he did, with Grand, with Grand
Yep.
Granada, you already know.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the older version for anybody that don't know. Simone Bolivar was the Napoleon of Central and South America, right?
Yep.
And he liberated damn near all of Central, well from Panama all the way down to Bolivia. So they actually named the country after him. Bolivia. They named the
Yep.
country after him.
His
Just so
name ring
for
bells.
y'all didn't know.
He got statues all over the place. The first time I
Yeah,
really heard about him to the level of outside of school, but when I went to where I go, I went to Ecuador and I went to Guayaquil, and that's how I met the tour guide Eddie, and he walked me around. They got this big, huge statue in Guayaquil, the city or whatever. Just beautiful, and like I said, this beautiful people.
yeah.
I
That's where
love.
that's where his mistress was from. Well, not necessarily mistress, but his love, Manuelita Science. She was from
Yeah.
Quito.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quito's beautiful. I love
Yeah.
Quito.
Come on, man. Come on, man. And
I've
that's
been
what we
saying,
talking about. Yeah, we talking about that untraveled pet like Bolivia, bro. Let's give us some key points of Bolivia, please, bro. Cause
okay.
nobody knows anything about that country at all, bro. They don't
So
know anything.
first,
And then it's
if you go,
landlocked, right?
oh yeah, definitely landlocked. It's all
Yeah.
landlocked.
Yeah.
If you go to Bolivia about 4 or 5 months out, start walking because it's nothing but hills. That's one. It's nothing but hills. I mean, it's flat, but it's rocky. It's hills and stuff like that. Two, the elevation is crazy because La Paz, the capital, is the highest, I guess, capital in the world. Living capital in the world. So when you get there, you immediately, like you went to Cusco, right?
Yeah, I've been to Cusco. Yep.
It's worse than Cusco. So
Bro,
if you
no.
felt,
Don't tell me
yeah, if you felt any type of slight in
that.
Cusco, La Paz is higher than that. Um, so that I mean, like I said, for those who've been, you already know how Cusco is. Um, so you got that, but I mean, it's doable. I did it, but it was a struggle. I have asthma, so it was a struggle for me, but it's very doable. It's very doable. My wife did it. She did get altitude sickness, which that leads me to my next third point is they have the little coca leaves that you can drink the tea, you can
Yeah.
do the candy, and you can do just the leaves. You can just kind of chew on the leaves and just suck on the juices, whatever. And so my wife was crushing it everywhere she went. You got in that tea? You got in that tea? I was like, but I didn't take any of that stuff. I didn't need it. I kind of dealt with it because I've been to Peru, just the Cusco area. So I was able to, physically wrap my mind around the altitude. But
Mhm.
like Lake Titicaca was beautiful. Absolute. So we rode around Lake Titicaca. We went to a couple of the islands that are on Lake Titicaca. Um, and obviously, the number one thing that people do when they go to Bolivia is the salt flats.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's probably in my top. I'm not even going to exaggerate. It's probably my top five. One of my top five things that I've ever seen in my life.
That reel was dope too, you and your wife. That was a dope
Oh,
reel too.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah, that drone footage. Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like top five, hands down, best experience. Just the salt flats in itself, because it was a beast getting there. Because our home base was La Paz, and La Paz is like 10 hours away. So we did a 36, 38-hour tour. So like we started in La Paz. We left La Paz probably about 9, 10 o'clock at night. We drove through the night on a bus to get to the salt flat area. And we got there probably about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We showered. Then as soon as we showered, we ate. And then we immediately toured that whole day. Like we went to the Salt Flats. We went to man, I don't speak Spanish that well. It's pretty much like, so in the middle of the Salt Flats. So the Salt Flats used to be water. It used to be covered. It was like a big lake. It was connected to Lake Titicaca, but it dried up. So they got these coral reefs that are like mountains. So you can actually climb up, and they got these big, huge 10 and 15 feet like cactuses. And you can climb up to the top. That was a beast. They have like little pockets of towns that you can visit. So we visit all the little towns. We ate local foods and stuff like that. And I would like to say it was just a beautiful experience. And then, like I said, once we got done with that next 9 o'clock at night, we got back on the bus and we left. And then we ride
Gotcha.
back on the bus. So it was worth it though, especially if you are on a time constraint. We was only there for like 6 days, I think. So in those 6 days, we had to burn pretty much a day and a half just trying to get down to the Salt Flats. So I definitely think you got to take that into consideration. But if you have more time, obviously, you could do more. It's a lot more you can do because they have a green lake, I think a green and a blue lake or a red lake, something like that you can do. Really get a chance to see that. So I definitely want to go back. But my wife is she don't want to experience that ever in life again. So anybody that wants to go, let me know.
Yeah, I got one of my line brothers, man. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, on your
he
bio.
yeah he's actually in Argentina right now. So he
Ooh.
touched Argentina before me, and that's one of those countries that they say don't go because for those that don't know, ex Germans
Yep.
were when they fled during the Cold War, they fled south to South America, and they
Mm-hmm.
started to migrate to Argentina. But he said, man, the people showing him mad love. So go see a country for yourself. That's my comment. Go see it for yourself. And I want to share one more interesting fact about Bolivia that a lot of people don't know. The biggest navy in South America is Bolivia, and they landlocked. But they got the biggest
I did
navy.
not know. I did
They
not
got the
know.
biggest navy in South America. Bolivia has the biggest navy in South America.
I don't even know how that's possible. I definitely gotta look at that because I'm trying to figure out where the hell is this Navy at now.
And they landlocked. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
That's
Man,
wild.
I can't let you pass up Scotland. Man. I can't let you pass that up. Share up of Scotland. Did you see? So I'm gonna make this statement and then I want you to add to it.
Okay.
Because you brought this up numerous times, and I want to add more context to that. You're the only black person. I want to share these statistics. I want you to see what you think about them. So only 49% of African Americans in this country and minorities all together. They only travel 49% of us only travel domestically, and then 17%, right, of African Americans and minorities travel internationally. You ready for this? Just us, the diaspora, is 7.1% that we
Mm.
travel internationally. Only 15% of us in the diaspora in America and also in Europe, if you combine it together, don't even have passports.
Mm.
When I throw all this information out here to you, brother, because for one, we're the conduits for that, right?
Yep.
That's why I called this the new green book. We're the conduits for this. And when I think about these numbers, and I want to get your thoughts, when you think about these numbers, man, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when I just throw those numbers at you like that? And does it
So
surprise you?
it does not surprise me. I've been to a few places where there's not a lot of black people, especially those Scandinavian countries. It's just a sea of white people. I mean, to any direction, just a sea of white people. Now Scotland, I only went to Edinburgh. I heard Glasgow has more of a black population, but I didn't get a chance to go down there because I was only there for like 4 or 5 days, and I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to concentrate on Edinburgh because Edinburgh has a lot to see. Um, but just to go to a city, and I wrote an article in this magazine, and I talked about it, and I named it "Man on the Moon." Because literally, obviously I've never been to the moon, but you can just grasp the concept of being alone. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt. Like I felt like every little pub, restaurant, tour, no matter where I went, hotel, I felt alone. Because I get excited when I see another Black person. It's like, oh, I want to talk to you. I want to make sure that you
Yep.
see me, and I want you to know that I see you, and you have somebody to have your back. As you can see in this world, sometimes you can feel lonely. You can get out of pocket, and things can just go awry for you. But I definitely felt alone, in at least in Edinburgh. I mean, I didn't feel bothered. Like nobody messed with me, but it's just that comfortability. Like that's the comfortability I want.
Yeah.
Not the doing everything like everybody else is doing, but I want to be like, oh, there's a group of like Black people over there. We got something in common. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, whatever. So, my homegirl, Franny the Traveler, I don't know if you follow her or she follows you, but she's super dope. So I went to Scotland and then she went right after me. And she's like, oh my God, Preston, you are so right. She was like, it was like no Black people. And I was like, I told you, but either way, it's a beautiful country, though. Beautiful country, beautiful, and just gorgeous city. Like that whole Harry Potter look,
Yeah.
and that's like where is that anyway? It was just something. I mean, I'm not into Harry Potter like that, but I'm talking about the cobblestones, the overcast, just the people, the buildings. You can't beat it. You
Man,
cannot beat it.
you know where I want to go. I know this like off topic because, like I told you, man, we just talk, man. We
Yeah.
talk on this, man. Man, I want to go to Ireland so bad, man. I'm not even lying to you, bro. I want to go to Ireland. So Dublin to me seems like a vibe. My mentor is there. He's been living there for over 10 years. He's been begging me to come. It's just a spot. I just feel like I just need to go. I need to go there. Need to
So
go.
I've been to Dublin.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't start vlogging until 3 years ago. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like I have years upon years of going to all these places
Yeah.
that I didn't vlog because I wasn't vlogging.
Yeah.
Dublin is dope. Dublin is dope. I went for St. Patrick's Day. So we went a couple of days before and then we stayed through St. Patrick's Day, whatever. But I mean, obviously it was a party time when I went. But I mean, outside of that, it was great to going to the Guinness factory, the Jameson distillery. We visited they have a prison out there that's on the outskirts of Dublin that is no
Mm-hmm.
longer it's no longer in use. But it was just like the stories that you heard there was just wow. I can only imagine, like, I've never been to Alcatraz, but the stories that I have heard about Alcatraz is much worse than that. Like, people think they got it bad in America when it comes to prison conditions. I have never seen nothing like that. I ain't never been to prison, so let me just throw that out there. But, when I see something like that, I'm like, yo, how did people do this? The food was good. The beer was good. The liquor was outstanding. The people were super cool. We went to Trinity College. It's down the streets from the
I
Dublin
know.
Castle.
My mentor teaches there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Man,
teaches at Trinity. Yeah.
they had like
Yeah.
these guys that was giving tours in like little Harry Potter, little outfits. Man, I can't ask for nothing more. They got the world's longest single hallway, not hallway, library. So, like I said, I love Dublin, but it's other cities I want to go to in Ireland whenever I do go back. But I would definitely
Yeah.
say start off with Dublin. See St. Patrick's Cathedral, um, obviously Dublin Castle. Like you just walk around, like the little river that flows through the city. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's like Europe is like a fairy tale to me. Like it's a different vibe than say South America or Central America. But if you're into I'm more into the Gothic architecture, stuff like that. So that's why I love Europe for that, for the castles and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That's what I got my degree in, actually.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So and that to me, I can't beat that. Like
That's why I
anywhere else.
can't wait to go to Milan. I can't wait to go to Milan and see that cathedral.
So I've
I
been to
can't wait.
Milan, and Milan is dope. Going to Milan Cathedral because it's right in a little square, and then right next to it is the Galleria, the famous Galleria with the glass ceiling that you can kind of walk in with all the Louis and Gucci stores and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first time holding a pigeon. It was some African guys they was like putting bird seed in my hand and my shoulder, and I'll tell you, 3 billion pigeons landed on me, and they took took a picture and all that stuff. And like I
So
say, I
they
mean,
hit you with that Home Alone. Huh?
yeah, and I'm into. I mean, they didn't doodle on me and nothing like that, but I'm into the experience. That's what I want. I'm not
Mm,
into materialistic things anymore. I let that stuff go a long time ago. I'm not into jewelry and clothes. And not to say I'm gonna look like a hobo, but I rather spend my money on the experience.
yeah,
I'm all about
yeah.
it's some stuff that I want to do. Like I want to snorkel or scuba dive in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Like I want to go to Antarctica and roll down somebody's hill or something. I want to my homegirl. I think Alicia, she did the walking with the lions. I want to do that. I
Yeah.
want to walk with the lions in Senegal.
Listen,
Um,
bro. I'm gonna tell her the same thing I told you. I love my son. I'm gonna increase my life insurance policy by at least 300K before I walk with them damn lions. You never know
yeah,
what's gonna happen.
you don't because they're animals, but at least you open to doing it. Like I want
Facts,
to.
facts.
Like I know she just went shark diving or whatever, like a little cage, and she was in a
Yeah,
cage with the sharks. To me, that's the fly. I mean, just to say that you did that, I think that's everything. That's to me, that's more cooler than saying, "Oh, I have a Benz, I have a whatever." Like, oh, that's cool.
exactly. Like
Tell me
I
more
walk with
about
lions, not
sharks.
one lion, two lions.
Two lines, you know what I'm saying? So, like when she went to India, she's the one that inspired me to want to go to India. I mean, I always want to go to India, but I kind of ramped it up. And I was supposed to be going to India about 2 weeks. I was going to spend 2.5 weeks in India and Sri Lanka, but my mother, she having some health issues, so I had to cancel my trip. Not really
Mm.
cancel, but just postpone it until January. So hopefully, like I said, she overcomes what she has going on, and I can go in January or whatever. But those are the type of trips I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to go to Jordan next year. That's not
So
really off the
you
beat.
you trying to hit all the seven wonders. How
So
many
I
have you been to so far?
4 or 5, 4.
Mm.
Yeah, because I've been to where I've been. So okay, so I have one. I got the one and only ancient seven wonders of the world, which is the pyramids of Giza. So that's itself. Then I have the Christ Riddermere. I have Chichen Itza. I have the Colosseum in Rome,
Mm.
and then I have what's the other one I have?
You know you've been to Machu Picchu. I know that for sure.
And Machu Picchu. So those are the four
Machu
I have.
Picchu was a vibe, bro. That was my
Oh
first. That
man,
was my first seven. That was my first one out of seven. I do plan on hitting. The goal is to hit all of them while I'm still on this earth. God say the same,
yes.
but
But those are my travel goals. All
what was
seven
your top? What was your top one? What would you
pyramids.
say? The pyramids.
Yeah, I mean the view was crazy in Machu Picchu, but Egypt just holds a very special place. That's literally the one place on this planet that would always be my number one spot in the world. Like I don't
Wow.
care what I see, what I do, what I experience, that would never be overtaken. That's like my one permanent. Like everything else is going to be 2, 3, whatever. But and everything, my list kind of fluctuates. But Egypt is that's my constant. That's number one.
Mm.
Just to go to the pyramids, and then when I got to the pyramids, I didn't know you can go inside. Just to go inside the pyramids, going to the
Yeah, the
Valley of the
smell,
Kings,
the just everything. Valley of the Kings, bro. Yeah.
Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, like took my wife because we went for our anniversary, and that's another thing that made it special. I took her for our anniversary, and we did a Nile River cruise just to be on the Nile, looking at my wife. Like, oh, we here and we cruising down eating chicken. It's like that's
Yeah.
to me that's some of the flyest thing. We going to Alexandria and walking around eating sugar or drinking sugarcane juice or whatever they's making for us. That was super fly. So I got the man dress made. I'm out there man dress. Just I almost tripped too because I don't wear dresses, so I didn't know I was supposed to lift a little dress up so I can walk. So I literally was about to take a fall, but My wife, she still laughs about that, whatever. But that's just Egypt is just beautiful. It's just, I mean, aesthetically, it's old. Obviously, it's not the most beautiful, it's like city. But if you
Yeah.
get past all that, the trash or whatever, and you look at what you look like, what you came for. I mean, just seeing like Ramsey II, like these statues that are as tall as a building, So it's pretty dope.
I gotta check it out. They got different vibes for different people, right? Because I had a guest on in the first season. He shared his experience with Egypt. They mistaken him for somebody from Sudan, and they asked him to sweep his steps. They kept saying it constantly over and over and over. So, and then I interviewed multiple guests in season one that had the experience with what they was wearing, and men thought they were this and it wasn't this. You already know. You already know where
Yeah.
I'm going with this. And but yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it for myself, man. I want to ask you about like do you consider yourself? To me, it's two different type of people that travel.
Yep.
It's individuals that are tourists, and it's individuals that are travelers. So which one are you, and what's the difference between the two? You would say by your definition.
So one, I'm definitely 100% a traveler. So I define traveler and tourist as a tourist, like you said, don't want to go off the beaten path. They don't want to experience anything. They don't want to get off their comfort zone. So I mean, like I said, everybody doesn't want those type of experiences. They just want to say, "Here's the Eiffel Tower. Take my pictures with the Eiffel Tower," and that's what I want to do. They don't want to make them left, make a right, and then they like some crazy like alleyway or something, trying to like mingle with locals and do these festivals or and like I said, I don't think you have to compromise like your feelings or anything to be a traveler. You just have to be open to the possibilities of suggestion and stuff like that. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
go to Morocco. I want to do the snake charming thing. I want to see can I hit him with the hypnotize, or whatever. I want to sleep in the Sahara Desert. Most people looking at me like I'm crazy, but for me, it's just like I said, it's about that experience, like I think that's what it comes down to be a traveler. Like, okay, let me eat this food that might tear my stomach apart. But
Yep.
hey,
But it was
I'm going to
cultural,
treat,
and mm-hmm.
and hopefully, I might get a little bit of mud, but hey, take some medicine and try to keep pushing, if all possible. And that's why I sit there at work because I work at a place where I have a lot of different nationalities, and I talk to every last one of them. I got people that are from Cameroon, India, Ghana, Nigeria, Chad. I got people from, I mean, it's all over the place. And I talk to every single last one of them. Nicaragua, and I just be like, yo, tell me about your country. Tell me about your country. Because I want the real deal. Like, tell me, is it safe to come? Do you think, it's possible? Do I need to go with 60 people? Do I need to go with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I need to do? And they try to give me the real, and I try to soak it up, and I try to see if I know anybody else personally that went. And, just to get my own take, but not to tear me from not going. Because I do want to go. Like I said, travelers travel. In my opinion, that's what we do.
Yep.
That's what we bring to the table. That's why you need a traveler, because a traveler is going to show you something that you maybe didn't know, or go to a
Mm-hmm.
location that is not as popular, and you really might be the first one in your group of friends, or whatever. So that's how I look at it.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all heard it here first. I want you to break down. I want to take this time to give you the opportunity to, dive deeper into your business, dive deeper into, how people can support you, how people can follow you, how people can, you know what I'm saying, just vibe with what you got going on, brother. So, like, I know you started the business in 2020, and with help with your wife, but just want to
Mm-hmm.
dive deeper into, because there's so many different ways you can, directions you can go within a travel business, within a travel company. Just share with the people what you do, what you offer, some of the services you offer, consultations, whatever they might be. I just want to get this opportunity for you to get all that out there.
Well, I appreciate it. So yeah, like I said, Preston Turner, business called Travels in My Lifetime. So you can find me on IG, Travels in My Lifetime, my YouTube channel, which is Travels of Preston. That's what I'm mostly on, but I'm also on Facebook, and that's Travels in My Lifetime. So all my links are either on my Instagram or it's on my YouTube channel. So you can ping me from all of those and follow me, subscribe, and stuff like that. But also, like I said, I have travel merch. This is like you see me drinking throughout the show. This is one of my cups. So I have mugs, travel mugs. I got all type of merchandise, stickers, totes, like blankets, shirts, hoodies. I got it all. Whatever you think of. And like I said, it's just to like represent the brand of traveling slash just like my vision, right? So I have all that. Like I said, on the YouTube side of things, the vlogging, which is I'm very, very active in that. Like I drop a new video every single Monday at 2 p.m. or 1400 every Monday, which is 52 videos a year, which is hard to do. Sometimes I might spend a couple of weeks in one particular city, but I try to show you as much as I can with the limited amount of time that I have in any particular location. Like I said, I do have a full-time job. So that's why I try to show you some stuff. I always try to do a walking tour of any city I go to. Then I always try to show you either museums, if they allow me to record. A lot of museums don't allow you to record. Definitely food. So I do a lot of food vlogs. Like today, I just dropped a food vlog on Indianapolis, Indiana. The restaurant that we went to was called The Good Spot. Awesome place. I definitely try to go to Black-owned restaurants. So this one, Black-owned. The individual name was Omar, and I chose his particular restaurant because he's only been open for a couple of months, and he's Black and he's a veteran. So I was like, I got to give him a shot. He was a little bit outside of the downtown area where I was staying at, but it didn't matter. His Uber there, amazing time. It was so amazing that I went twice. Like I went one night and I actually came back the next night, and he showed me nothing but love, him and his staff. So I definitely want to give him a shout out on that. But that's kind of what I do on the vlogging side. And I also have a blog. I'm in the process of revamping it. I do have some stories on there that I've written over the last couple of years. I haven't written in a while because I'm in the process of revamping, and I'm a team of me. So I do all the travel, all the eating, and then I do all the writing. And then, me coming up with T-shirt ideas and upload them and stuff like that. Like I said, it's a lot on one person. I got to edit the videos, edit the pictures, doing interviews with individuals like yourself. So I only got so much time. I'm married. I got my 5 kids. Just a one-man band, so that's kind of like in a nutshell what I offer. And I any support is just welcome. That's one. Any support is welcome. And then also, my wife is over here. She's helping me out because she's like, I got to mention I'm a travel agent, which I kind of did earlier, but I just became a travel agent probably about 6 months ago. So I've been doing that. That's been going really well. Trying to help people plan trips. And like I said, I'm not one of those travel agents, no disrespect to anyone that's a travel agent, but I'm definitely on the up and up. Whatever I show you, you can Google it yourself and see if I'm trying to hit you across your head, stuff like that. So
Right.
I try to do all that, and all that's on my links. It's definitely on my Instagram. And like I said, Instagram would be the best spot to follow me, support me, because they'll be able to show you some of the articles that I've written to other magazines. I've been interviewed by magazines. So all those links are on there. So, and I did all this in 3 years, during a pandemic, full-time job, raising my kids and being with my wife. So, that's a lot, what I'm saying? And I really appreciate people like you that have this type of platform to give people like myself opportunity to have an outlet, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this is all symbiotic. Like I need you, you need me, we need everybody, just to spread the word and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be tagging you and supporting you in your journey as well. I'm always open. This is to anybody, to you as well. It's open to anybody. I'm definitely open to collaborations. I don't care who you are. As long as you understand that I am a vlogger. I don't have to put you on camera, but if you just want to go because you need a battle, I won't say battle buddy. You guys might not know that term. But if you just want a person to go with and feel safe and, because like I said, I do 90% of my stuff solo travel because my wife, she has a full-time job. But I try to take her on many trips as possible. She did go to Indianapolis with me, and we're planning to go somewhere in the next couple of weeks for Veterans Day. So yeah, like I said, I'm all purpose. So that's all in a nutshell what I do.
Definitely, bro. And like I told you before we went live, you know what I'm saying? You family from this point forward, man. So anything that I got going on, any type of content that I see you do, I'll be sure to reshare it because guys, what he means by support, yes, we both have businesses, but support can be enjoying the content, consuming his content. Guys, being a content creator is listen, guys. It takes time. It takes
Yeah.
creativity to come up with different different videos, different photos, different vlogs. You see everything that he's doing. So be sure to support that. And with that being said, all of his information is going to be in the show notes as well. So you can check him out. Go check him out. His content is amazing. We already brought up a few of them, right? He's been to places uncharted that nobody that I've seen in the diaspora talks about. Romania. Nobody talks about Scotland. Nobody talks about Ireland. His perspective of Egypt is the first positive thing I've ever heard about Egypt with everybody else that I've interviewed. But here's the thing. There's no right or wrong, guys. People experience different things whenever you go places. Regardless if you're white, black, purple, green, yellow, right? Whenever you go to these different places, you're going to get a different perspective. But that's the difference between being a tourist and being a traveler. We already shared that. But again, brother, we definitely going to talk off the record about a few things. But man, again, I just want to appreciate you for coming on the platform. Looking forward to collaborating with you in the future. Looking forward to seeing all the amazing places that you plan to go in the future, whether it be solo, with your wife, or with your beautiful family, man. Brother, I really do appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I want to say I appreciate you having me having on this show. Like I said, I think this is an awesome platform. I'm definitely behind the power curve, but I'm definitely going to catch up and see some of your past episodes and stuff like that. And like I said, and I just want to harp on the support thing. And I know you got to wrap it up, but the support thing, I need people to follow from A to Z. I didn't have people buy a shirt from my online store, but don't wear it. Hey man, I appreciate you buying it, but I have a job. It's not about the funds. It's not about you buying. It's like I really want you to believe in the brand, and you being a person being a traveler. Wear it out. Wear it out. Show people that hey, this is what you do. Like this is travels in my lifetime, but I have different clothing for women and men. And like I said, they come in all shapes and sizes. They come from small kids, all the way to big boys like myself. I got all the sizes and stuff like that. And I just want people to just represent the travel market, the travel brand and stuff like that. Like I said, just take a look at the the website, see if you like it. If you don't, that's fine. That's cool too. I'm not telling everybody pressure, but just support. Somebody upload a video, somebody upload a podcast, watch the video. Watch the it's free to support, man. If you don't want to buy nothing, that's cool. Watch the video, share the video, put a comment, leave a review, whatever the case may be. Whatever you can do to help somebody else, please do that. It costs nothing to just support.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds better when you say it. The reason why I'm laughing, and the reason why I'm laughing, it's so hard, and we know this, we're in this space. Regardless of what niche you're in, it's so hard to get people to do what you want them to do.
Yep.
Like, guys, what he just said, sharing is free. Writing a podcast review is free. Writing a comment on his YouTube channel that, hey, this content is amazing. Keep pushing. That gives us the motivation to keep doing this, guys. It takes a lot of energy to put these things together. And it's not a sob story. We just telling you as creatives, like Erica Badu said, right? I'm sensitive to my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sensitive to my shit. Like, support, man. So again, man, I appreciate you for having you on. Y'all already know my motto. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. If you're vibing with the podcast, be sure to write a review. But brother, I appreciate you. Y'all know my motto. I'll see you at the top because the bottom is just too crowded. Peace.